time now to take a look at stories making headlines on Nigerian newspapers. And I begin with the Nation newspaper. The major headline here says 2023, APC is unbeatable in Lagos, says Tinubu. Shetima Ganduje rally Arewa community. APC presidential candidate preaches unity. You'll find all the details on the front page of the Nation newspaper. We'll move now to the First News newspaper. 2023 presidency, Tinubu Atiku camps intensify fireworks. 2023 presidency, Tinubu Atiku's camps intensify fireworks. All the details on the front page of the First News newspaper. To this Nigerian newspaper now, Tinubu Obi endorsement controversy, Afenifere splits as Fashoranti stops group's meeting from holding in Adebanjo's Ijebu Igbo house, relocates it to Akure. All the details on the front page of this Nigeria newspaper. To the front page of the Daily Trust now, our dialogue with IPOB, other agitators, P2B speaking there, says cumulative leadership failure cause agitations. I am not an Igbo candidate. I'll use North to develop Nigeria. As the Labour Party presidential candidate P2B speaking there. To the front page of the Leadership newspaper now, 2 months after leadership queries, U.S. Embassy yet to speak on Baguda Kautu's death. 2 months after leadership queries, U.S. Embassy yet to speak on Baguda Kautu's death. Mike?
Right, I have the Daily Times here now. This is where I start from on this side. And it's focusing on terror alert. Security agencies have everything under control. Buhari is saying this, and that's what you see on the front page of the Daily Times. And urges Nigerians to ignore false alarm raised by some foreign nations on impending attack. That's what you see on the front page of the Daily Times. From there, let's go to the Punch newspaper. Punch is talking about Forex crisis, and it says EFCC arrests 87 Forex dealers in Abuja, Lagos. Forex traders angry as agency conducts more raids, seizes phones. Bauer meets senior bank officials, Dealers Association, and licensed dealers back raids, share pros and cons. All right. I guess there's a lot to understand with the Forex trading sub-industry. That's the Punch newspaper. Nigerian News Direct is the next now. It's focusing on 2023 budget. And it says Buhari's appointees, ministers, frustrating anti-corruption fight. That's the reps revealing this, right? And the lament poor 2023 budgetary allocation for Office of Auditor General, and has several other riders there. You'll see all that on the front page of the Nigerian News Direct. And the Blueprint newspaper is next, and it says federal government moves to tackle flood, approves 506 billion naira for East-West Road. Federal government moves to tackle flood, approves 506 billion naira for East-West Road. Recall that the road there around Bayelsa axis and River State had issues of heavy flooding where the videos have been viral all over the place. And OK's 140 billion naira projects in Yobe, Jigawa, Kano, and others. Okay, it promises compensation for farmers affected by flood. Okay, all that you see with other riders on the front page of the Blueprint newspaper. Business Day is the last one I'm looking at. And it says Nigeria fails in bid to restore 0.3 million barrels per day oil pipeline. Nigeria fails in a bid to restore 0.3 million barrels per day oil pipeline. You see that on the front page of the Business Day. Veronica.
All right, let's look at the story on the front page of the First News newspaper, talking about the 2023 presidency. Tinubu Atiku's camps intensify fireworks. And just to look closely at some of the details of that story, it says Nigerians won't elect a ghost president. Atiku speaks, telling Tinubu. It says next year we'll retire the political tourists back to Dubai. Shetima fires back at Atiku. And Atiku will certainly relocate to Dubai. He's comfortable there, adds Oshomoli. PDP campaign lambates Shetima APC for attacking Atiku. Odinga jibe, Shetima suffering from amnesia, says Atiku campaign. APC Tinubu can't unite Nigeria, Dele Momodu declares. We're beginning to see the intensity of campaigns with all of this statement coming forth from, some of these persons, Sam.
This is what the Yorubas call Ijagboro, the fight on the streets and politics. This is what political pundits want to see.
Yes.
They want to see the red meat being thrown into the cage of the lion, and then you say and see it devour with relish. That's what we are seeing. I think the PDP is reacting to some of the fireworks that came out of the meeting by Shiwaju Bola Tinubu and Kashim Shetima at the business meeting at the Eco Hotel a couple of days ago, in which they threw barbs at Atiku Abubakar and Peter Obi. It's you remember that Ashwaju was saying that it doesn't. Obi was fond of using the expression, "I will do the right thing. I do the right thing." I do the right thing is not what you say. What is the right thing you are going to do? How are you going to do it? Spell it out. With this one, we know that you have. If you say you do the right thing, you get probably 3/10 because you've not done. You have not written the right things. That kind of thing. They keep coming out with dubious, dubious statistics and so on, and he laid down his own point. And Shetima had also very, very beautiful things to say, very colorful things to say that, Obi, he first lashed out at Obi saying that Obi was used to pushing poverty by saying, I have a wristwatch that I have not worn for so many years and so on. So that's not how to build prosperity. You don't be the president and say that I have a wristwatch that I've been wearing for so we want to create more. Because if you follow that kind of system, there'll be no production. You want to create production and people don't buy, then what's the production? The idea of production is that there's always something coming in. And they also went on to lash out at Atiku, that Atiku attended in these days of digitalization, big data and so on. Atiku attended hygiene school, which means that today will become a wole. Those people do that, and that, it's not Abraham Lincoln, but Raila Odinga, which is, a failed political statue in today's Kenyan narrative. So those people are coming back and then he said that they should retire Atiku, who is the political tourist, because there's this reference to the fact that the man lives most of the time in Dubai and so on and so forth. So it's an interesting thing. The PDP must come out with better ways of getting back at this kind of colorful rhetoric from the APC. I'm saying that that they can't unite the country. You must come better than that, because even this person said it, Shetima, said, if Atiku cannot unite his party, how do you trust him to unite the country?
Nigeria. Well, the issue there is, at times like this, those rhetorics, back and forth, you throw jabs at the other one, and those are the political the comics around politics that makes the journey interesting. Now, the point there is, we will say, everyone concentrate on what you want to do, the programs, the agenda, the issues. Yeah, of course, you will do that. But the point there is, in every political campaign cycle, if you don't have those nuances and those, it's like going to a party where, there's a time to dance, there's a time to make a speech, there's a time to, and all of that. So it makes everything very interesting. However, for the media and for all the other stakeholders and all of that, this is what, keeps the wheel going. Now, what we are seeing, especially from the opposition, we are not seeing firepower enough, right? Because the issue there is always the position of an opposition because you want to take power.
Yes.
The level of information you're putting out, the hard work that you have to put in, and where you're going to hold your opponent from, you know, as a way of bringing him down to be able to give him that.
Before?
We are. So the point there is, we're not seeing that thing from all of the opposition political parties in Nigeria right now. We're not seeing it enough. Recall in 2015 how APC came on board with all of the information they put out there, and you see the resilience and all of that. The issue there is PDP that wants to come back to power, or Labour Party that wants to take over power, or NNPP that wants, or any other political party for that matter. We're not seeing that thing.
Firepower.
We're not seeing that firepower, because you need to be hungry. We need to see the hunger in the opposition political party, hunger enough to be able to take whatever the thing is. So maybe as the campaigns are just starting, we might see the firepower we're talking about. The earlier you start, the better. Because when you start, and you have to keep it going that way, sustain it until the end. That is when people know that you're really serious.
There was also the humorous part from Shetima about the regalia, what he wore the last time. Talking about Jim Obi, I hope he will not be disappointed or have anxiety about his, what they call that suit again, Mongo Park suit, and his, and things like that, which was able to, you know, disarm a lot of his enemies.
I guess you have to bring that, stemming from what happened at the
NBA
conference.
Exactly.
Conference. So you had to make light that issue.
And he was saying, I'm not going to say I have only 2 shoes.
Yes,
or I don't have a wristwatch. No.
Yeah.